Hi, this is Sherman with Highland Park Lapidary, and in this video I'm going to show you how to fix your everclean if you're getting a little bit of leak. We noticed that on the last batch of everclean, sometimes on rare occasions you'll get oil coming out of this hole. The reason that's the case is inside the everclean itself there's a little porous opening. And that porous opening is underneath here. So you'll see this when you take the drum off of your everclean, and I'll explain in a second how to do that. I have another video, but we'll just reference it here. You'll take your drum off and you'll see that's where the hole comes on in the inside. The purpose of that hole is it allows you to use an Allen wrench to go through from the outside to undo the drum. And if you look at a drum here, these are some evercleans that we're doing. You'll see there's two set screws that hold the drum onto the motor shaft. So that's an access port to put your set screw in there so that you can undo the drum. So in the particular everclean, if you're having leaking, the leaking is not coming from the inside here. You'll see there's this dam, and so the oil comes out of the drum after it's centrifuged, drains down the side, and what's happening is right underneath this lip here and along the side of this hump that you see that has the hole for the set screw, there may be a couple of little spots where the casting is not fully fused together. This is not a structural problem. This is an issue that the casting cooled before it fully flowed into that spot, and it's super easy to fix. You can fix this on your saw. There's not a huge issue to it. Your first step is obviously using a wrench. This you're going to use a 5/32 Allen wrench to put it on the outside of this in the hole, line it up, turn your drum until you get your first set screw, loosen it, turn your set screw, get the second one, loosen it, and then get your drum out. Typically you can just grab the drum and it'll slide off. If it's a little bit more difficult, you may need to get two pieces of material to kind of pry the drum up. Otherwise, take the everclean off, follow my other video, and you can just thump it on the ground and the drum will pop right out. So that's how you'll get the drum out. Now, once you've got this opened up here, your next step is you'll want to clean it. So wipe it out really good with like a paper towel, then get yourself some brake cleaner. You can get this at any AutoZone, any kind of auto parts store, and use the brake cleaner to spray out the inside because you want to get all the oil out so that you got a very clean surface, especially spray where you're going to be sealing it up. Then what you'll pick up is JB Weld. I remember JB Weld when I was a kid and I'm like, oh my God, that's miracle stuff. JB Weld is one of the most useful tools for solving a problem like this because it's a two-part epoxy. Use the original JB Weld, mix it together super well, and then what I use is I just use a set of nitrile gloves on my hand. I just smear it into the holes. Two-part epoxy. This original epoxy is the one to use, and that's what we did on fixing all these. If we had any problems, is I used the two-part epoxy here. Then we did paint this with a two-part epoxy paint. It's not necessary. It was just an extra layer of security that I wanted to do on some of these. All you really need to do is use the JB Weld to fill up the holes of any of the casting here, because what's happening is the oil is coming down out of the top of the drum down here, and it's getting through the casting, and if you get a little pinhole, it'll come out of here. It'll look like a steady flow. You may also see some oil that kind of comes around here, but that's usually traveling to those bolt patterns. So inside you want to really seal up all your little holes, seal up any holes that you might see anywhere else in there, and it'll be just tiny little pits. And then put this plate back on. We put this plate on with you'll see when you pull it off, it's glued to it. It's got a silicone adhesive. It's basically Permatex Ultra Black. Just put more back on there when you glue it back in place. And what this does is this keeps the oil from splashing up and into the motor. This is your top of your motor here. I've got some other videos to explain more of the detail, but the trick here is use JB Weld. It's super simple. If there's a little tiny crack, it doesn't have really any kind of, it's not going to structurally affect the unit everclean at all. All it's going to do is cause a little leaking. It's kind of a pain in the ass. So JB Weld your fix. If you do that, obviously, when you've talked to the folks, this will save you some money. If you just don't feel comfortable doing that, you're like, hey, can you just swap my unit out? We'll swap it out, no problem. But we'll give you a little discount if you do it yourself, because it does save you time. It saves us money shipping it back and forth. Hey, thanks for watching today. If you like what you see, click the like button. Subscribe if you want to get more videos like this, and down below in the description you'll find a link that goes to our website. It goes to also what we showed you today, more information about that, and leave comments if there's things that you like, if there's things that you want us to do more on, if there's videos that you want us to shoot that we haven't shot. We're very open to that. We're really looking for ways to help you be successful in your endeavors with the tools and technologies that we create, as well as any other aspect of the hobby.